So we had number 22 Auburn and number 11 Oklahoma in Norman, right? Um, Oklahoma ended up, winning 24-17. This game felt like an SEC classic, right? It was very defensive. The runners were getting stuffed at, for the most part at the line of scrimmage, and both teams averaged under 2 yards per carry. So, first things first, I want to tip my cap to both teams just because they
Yeah.
are making a complete 180 from where they were last year, right?
Yeah.
They both were undefeated and ranked coming into this game. Um, but what didn't feel like an SEC game was how many times Auburn let their quarterback get sacked, right? Um, Oklahoma set up a new program record, like 10 sacks in one game, which is crazy.
Hmm.
Some of the blame can be put on the offensive line at Auburn, but just last year, you know, Jackson Arnold, he set some type of school record for the most times sacked at OU. So
Hmm.
is it, him being too much of an elusive quarterback and trying to move around the pocket, or is it really his offensive line? That's something we got to think
Or,
about here.
I mean, I would say it's him just not getting rid of the ball sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so he was sacked, 34 times last year, including back-to-back 8 sack games. That's a crazy statistic.
Yeah.
Like 8 games. I mean, eight being sacked 8 times twice back to back. Um, so yeah, again, like you said, you wonder how much of the blame can be brought back to the quarterback, right?
Hmm.
Um, I will say Cam Coleman, he was a bright spot on the offense for Auburn. I'm glad Arnold was able to find him a few times in the game. You know, he belongs in the same conversations, in my opinion, as Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams. Feel like he's a little bit overlooked because of the logo on his jersey a lot of times, but again, he's one of those guys who's electric, right?
Yeah. Some
Um,
of those catches where the body control,
mhm,
he was able to kind of turn around. Yeah. It was very impressive. I think this whole wide receiver class will be so,
yeah,
I mean, they're all sophomores. Bryant Wesco Jr. is also part of this sophomore class.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
they all have 1 year left. And then imagine the draft in 27, like teams will be clawing to get these guys.
Sounds like a lot of first rounders at the wide receiver position.
Yep.
Yep. We talked about our Mason Thomas, right? Last episode. It turns out he was actually out for the first half of this game because of a targeting of a previous game in the second half of the last game. He came in, he immediately started by putting numbers up in the game in the second half. This game could have been a lot worse for Auburn's offense and Jackson Arnold if he was available the whole game. Um, while one quarterback was getting manhandled by the opposing defense, John Mateer, he showed immense poise. He took it on himself to provide a spark for the offense to get extra points needed to win the game. He threw for I think 271 yards and a touchdown, and again, he was one of the leading rushers. Um, he rushed, and I think he did an arm stretch to get the go-ahead touchdown near the end of the game. Um, yeah, they had a play where they had a player running on the sideline, and he was subbing out for them, and he ended up catching a touchdown pass. I think that was Satanga.
Satania or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No one had him. Uh, I think Hugh Freeze, he was trying to call a timeout when he saw it. And the SEC office, they actually issued a statement last night saying that it was supposed to be unsportsmanlike conduct and OU should have been issued a 15-yard penalty. So according to the, NCAA football rules, this is labeled as one of their unfair tactics, and it's actually illegal. I didn't know that until you pointed that out to me earlier, Mash. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The rule is no simulated replacements or substitutions may be used to confuse opponents. I mean, it makes sense. It's a large field, and if you're acting like you're going out, and yeah, I mean, I get it. I wanted to make one last comment on R. Mason Thomas. Like their last game was against Temple. It was a blowout. It sucks that his action in the second half of that game affected this game. Like this time around, fortunately for Oklahoma, they won, but it's like an action from a previous week could affect, this week during the game. Like, I didn't go back and see the targeting call. Was it even like a good targeting call? You never know. But I I understand, trying to protect the players and not doing the crown of the helmet types of tackles, but it's just unfortunate that the actions from that one game bleeds over to the next one. But
Exactly.
yeah, good win for Oklahoma. I think Auburn looks better than I thought than I thought they would.
Hmm.
Especially considering all the oh, go easy on Jackson Arnold type thing in the offseason that we heard about. I thought he looked, he had decent stats. His stats were very close to John Mateer's. It's just all the sacks and penalties and stuff kind of caught up to them.